Cheer. Where we at? Where we at? See Simone.
Hi, and welcome back to Learning to Live in Translation, the podcast about what happens when language, culture, and expectation collide. I'm C. Simone. Last week, we had an amazing guest, Catalina from Colombia, who lives in Tenerife, speaking about her language journey with English and some amazing tips. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind recently, language learning and love. We all know that it's Valentine's Day. Around the world, people are celebrating their love, making an extra effort to show how much they care for their loved one or for their friends or for themselves. I particularly believe that love should be shown every single day, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with making that extra effort. Today, we are going to focus the lens on language in love. I have a new friend who is Spanish and their partner is French. And here's the interesting thing. Neither of them speak the other's language very well. They mostly communicate in a mix of body language, facial expressions, and they have children. Hearing about how they communicate really makes me think, how do we really understand someone? How much of love actually depends on language? We often hear that communication is a foundation of any relationship, and I 100% agree with it. It is key. According to research by psychologist Dr. Albert Morabian, in situations involving emotions and attitude, communication can be broken down like this. Words form 7%. 38% is your tone of voice and 55% is your body language. Now that 55% is body language, we need to focus on this. If you're someone who is in a situation and you're dating or you've been in a relationship with someone who speaks a different language to you, your body language is a huge portion of your emotional meaning, your communication. You can communicate through non-verbal cues. So basically, in the early stages, body language, facial expressions, eye contact, posture, proximity, these matter enormously. And that's probably why my Spanish friend and their French partner make it work. They laugh, they lean towards each other, they support each other, they mirror each other's emotions, movement, they're patient. But what was interesting to me is what happens when you move beyond the two of you? What happens when you meet extended family or friends? How do you communicate? When there's jokes, when there's discussions about the past, the memories, the person you're seeing, their childhood, what they were like as a teenager, their failures, their victories. What happens then? It's a lot, but I have some recommendations. But first, let's listen to an example of where things can get awkward. Jose, thank you so much for these amazing flowers. That's so kind of you. I've heard so much about you from Tanya, but unfortunately, we have to go. I have to pick up my grandchildren. Tanya, did you tell him that your sister's actually in hospital at the moment, so we have to cancel this reservation? I've explained. Great.
Your mother talks far too
Jose,
much.
as I said, it was so nice to meet you, and I really apologise. You know, we were on our way here and very much looking forward to meeting
darling.
you. You know, we've heard so much, but
darling, we need to go.
We have to go. Please forgive me. We will rearrange this another time. Is that okay with you?
Yes, but firstly, I'm going to tell you, my name is not pronounced how you pronounce it. It's pronounced Jose, okay? And secondly, I am looking very much forward to our dinner.
I'm sorry. Tanya, does your boyfriend understand what I'm actually saying to him?
Yes, dinner.
No,
Darling, we need to go.
Jose, we have to go because we have... Look, I don't have time to explain. Can you explain to your boyfriend what's actually happening here? Because this is an emergency and, you know, I'm very worried for your sister. And obviously just got the message. So I didn't want to be rude or anything. Jose, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for the flowers. And Tanya, are you going to come along to the hospital? Or?
Yes, Mum. We'll see how she's doing, and of course we'll be there.
Great. Okay, well, I'll see you at the
sweetie.
hospital.
Bye, Dad.
See you, Jose.
So what time are we gonna have dinner? But Daniel, now your mom gone, I don't understand. Like, why we gonna eat dinner at the hospital? Hospital has good restaurant?
No, mi madre necesita que ir porque mi hermana tenía un accidente, entonces ella necesita que ir.
Ah, lo siento. Oh, qué pena, mi amor.
As you heard in that example, Jose had some understanding of English, but not enough, and that is where he would rely on his partner, Tanya. Tanya also needed to communicate to her parents the level of English so that her mother would not go on and on and on. So let's go to the tips. Tip number 1 is about learning the relationship vocabulary first. You don't need to be fluent to show effort. Not at all. You can learn greetings, ways of showing gratitude using your manners, saying thank you and please. You can learn some phrases to give compliments. You can learn basic introductions to introduce yourself. You can learn basic questions to try and find out a bit more about the person that you're dating. And food is important because I'm sure many of you who do date will be going out to restaurants, to cafes. You can talk about your preferences. This is very important. And being able to say, I'm happy to meet you. I enjoy your company. This food is delicious, or this food isn't really that great. Effort is deeply attractive. Effort communicates respect, and in many cultures, making an effort with the family's language earns you instant goodwill. Tip number 2, understand that you'll feel childlike, and that's okay. When you first start learning a language, it can feel like starting again. There are times that people can get frustrated or anxious. There is language anxiety for many people when it comes to communicating to a native. You may want to express how you're feeling if you're having a bad day, if something happened at work, or you might want to engage in jokes and laughter, and it can feel frustrating when you forget vocabulary or you can't express yourself. And this is where body language and using tools like translator, AI tools can really help you. But here's the shift. Instead of seeing it as losing power, see it as gaining humility. Vulnerability builds intimacy. And honestly, there's something very bonding about laughing over misunderstandings. And this is where you can help each other out. Learn the phrase to say, how do you say this word? That can be very, very helpful. For example, when I'm speaking to Spanish locals or my Spanish friends, if there is a word that I don't know how to say, I will use my body language. I might show a picture and I will say to them, ¿Cómo se dice esta palabra en español? How do you say this word in Spanish? Or I will say, no sé esta palabra en español. ¿Me ayuda? So I don't know this word in Spanish. Can you help me? So just learning these phrases can help you and using your gestures, your body language. Tip number 3, develop micro communication skills. When language is limited, small things become amplified. Your tone becomes crucial. Facial expression matters so much. If you want to express your emotions, how you're feeling, if you've just had food together and it tasted absolutely wonderful and you don't have the vocabulary, showing that in your face, the sounds that you make can express so much. Listening, everybody loves to be listened to. This is where, when there isn't that much vocabulary, or you're hesitant or you're worried, listening helps you to learn new phrases, new words, and it shows your undivided attention. But remember to use active listening, not passive. Do not use devices, look at different things, get distracted easily. Look into the person's eyes, listen, and learn the phrase to say, can you repeat it? Or I don't understand. And that way they can help you maybe simplify or use words that you're more familiar with. And also don't forget to confirm your understanding using your facial expressions, laughing and nodding your head. These things can really help communicate that you understand the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been listening to the free version of this episode. To listen to all extended episodes, consider becoming a paid subscriber of Learning to Live in Translation, where you'll have access to all posts, all archives, all podcast episodes, a personalized teacher edit upon request of any of your posts, and much, much more. I'm C. Simone, and you have been listening to Learning to Live in Translation.
Yeah, London, Elowin, Deowin, city we live in, where we at.